Okay guys, you're going to create a graphic organizer with 3 sections. One section for the word, the vocabulary word. The next one with the definition. I'm going to give you the definition and you're going to try to paraphrase it in your own words. And finally, you're going to give me an experience that you had related to that word. For example, our first word is going to be fossil. Okay. So anybody knows anything about this word? Yes?
Fossils, like old things, like bones.
Okay, it can be old bones. So pretty much any remains, get ready to copy or paraphrase, any remains such as skeleton, like she said, or even a footprint. Okay? So you would put here the definition, skeletons, remains, footprint, and then an experience that you had with fossils. Anybody wants to share an experience? Nobody? Yes?
Well, I've seen a movie on fossils, and I see how they decompose themselves and it's underground.
Very good. So maybe you can talk about the movie you saw, or maybe if you remember the movie itself and the title, you can just put the picture of it. That way you can remember the word by linking it to an experience. Very good. So let's start this. Our first word is fossils, which is any remains or trace of living things, such as skeleton or footprint.
What if you don't know an experience that you had?
So have you ever encountered yourself with a bone
No.
or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay, in that case, maybe you can draw a picture that might remind you of the word. So what could be a picture?
Bones.
Bones. Like for example, if you see here, I have some students that put footprints. And over there, I think I have a student that draw a fossil of a dinosaur. So that can be something you can do if you didn't have an experience linked to this word.
Over here.
Okay, our next word is specimen. Specimen. Does anybody want to tell me what do you think specimen means? Yes?
Could it be a type of plant?
And you're pretty close, yes. It has to do with a part. It can be a part of a plant, a part of an animal. So on a part of something from a whole. So in this case, we have a person draw here a leaf. Like, think about an experience that you had where you find a little part of something. A part of a whole. So it can be anything that you can think of. Even an artifact. Maybe something that you found can be linked to that word, the experience. A tree branch. There you go. So you can put that down there. And this is kind of interesting. The student drew like food because it reminds him of different parts of, like for example, an animal. That's the leg. So that's his idea of a specimen, a part of a whole. It's a good picture for that. Our next word is embed. Embed is to fix into a surrounding mass. To fix into a surrounding mass. Anybody knows what that means?
I can't see, Julian.
For example, if we have ice, a block of ice, maybe there is a fossil in it. The fossil is embedded in the ice. So think about an experience that you had where you found something inside something else, maybe in the ground. Like this student had a good representation of the word. She drew a flower and she said that the roots are embedded in the sand. Like they're in the sand. So that was a good way to see it.
Can you repeat the definition too?
Yeah, embed, to fix into a surrounding mass. Make sure that if you don't have any experience with the word, you draw a picture that might remind you of the word. Okay, our next word is excavate. Excavate. Excavate is to make a hole by digging. To make a hole by digging. So I'm pretty sure many of you had experience excavating. Raise your hand, how many of you have an experience doing that? Like, can somebody give me an example? Yes.
We have a little kid playing in the dirt.
Like a little kid playing in the dirt. Okay. Grace?
Like digging a hole with shovels.
Okay. How many of you went to the beach and tried to dig holes or try to bury yourself in it? So that can be an experience that you can think when you're excavating.
Can I draw a shovel?
Yeah.
So bury.
She just mentioned a shovel. Maybe that drawing would help her remind.
So burying.
Digging. Yeah, excavate is another word for digging. Okay, now our next word is deteriorate. And it's right there, deteriorate. This is to make or become worse. Like something that disintegrates or wear away with time. So any examples of what things you can think of for that word? Disintegrate? What happens to you when, after you died and they dig you? What happens to your body?
It turned into
Disintegrates, which is falling apart little by little, right? And what is it left after that process has bones. So that is what disintegrate is. And that's another word for deteriorate. Little by little is just deteriorate. And this person, I don't know if you guys want to draw the same thing, but she kind of draw a body with the worms eating it. Of course, worms are part of that process too.
Oh, what is that?
Okay, and finally, preserve. Preserve. To keep in existence or make it last longer. And I'm sure all of you can think about something you preserve to make it last longer. So what kind of experience can you relate with that word? What things do you try to put away in a safe place to make it last longer?
Pictures.
Pictures. Flowers. The next word was preserve. To keep in existence by making it last longer. What about food, guys? Don't we preserve food? To keep in a safe place to make it last longer? Yeah, all of us put food away in the fridge because we do that to preserve it. That way it can last longer. Otherwise, we cannot eat it if it's out of the fridge for a long time for certain types of foods.
Milk, last milk.
So think about something you have preserved. I know many people have preserved flowers. Maybe it was the first flower they ever gotten, and they still have it somewhere safe. Okay. And our last word, paleontology. Paleontology. That's right here. Anybody wants to guess? Based on the pictures, anybody wants to guess what you think this might mean?
When something has a skeleton.
Okay. Yes?
Someone who studies skeletons or fossils.
Very good. It's pretty much a science of studying fossils.